Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and today I want to talk to you guys about the 5 basic exercises that I would consider to be the most useful for size and strength and overall development. So let me put on my +5 hat of weaponsmithing. If I can get this thing on straight. I'm not even going to edit that out. Do a little bit of crafting and let's talk about it. Now, when I mention basic exercises like this, it creates a lot of confusion. Some people are like, are you saying that's the only thing anyone should ever do? No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. When I give little exercises like this, little list of exercises that I think will help you get the most size and strength, I'm not saying that that's all you have to do. But I am saying that if you did just those 5 exercises, you probably wouldn't have very many weak spots in your body. You might have a weak link. You might have a weak link aesthetically somewhere, but you know what? You can fix that. Meaning, if you have a weak link, guess what? You can just train that weak link a little more and it will improve. It's not rocket science, guys. And I know we like to think about a lot of training stuff that way and a lot of advanced periodization, and I like those things too, but this isn't rocket science. It's not that hard to figure out, man, my triceps suck, maybe I should train them a little more. It's not that difficult. So when I say these exercises, sure, a person could focus just on these 5 exercises and they could get pretty damn big and pretty damn strong and probably not have any serious weaknesses. They could definitely do that. Does it mean that that's all they have to do? No. If you want to do extra exercises, but feel free to do so. I'm not saying that at all. But it's like we live in a world where everyone wants everything to be in hyperbole. Everything's either black and white one way or another. They can't accept that, yeah, you could do it this way, but you could also do this too. It's fine. It seems like when you give people that type of freedom, they freak out on you. But let's cover these lists of exercises. All right, number 1 on the list, the deadlift. People will argue about this all day long. They'll argue, oh, it doesn't work anything effectively. Oh, it only works this muscle or that, and it doesn't add much development to anything. Really? Go put a noob on the deadlift. Have a noob go and do deadlifts only for 6 months straight and get strong on the deadlift. Get them up to a 400-pound deadlift from starting with whatever, 50, 100, 150 pounds, whatever they start, to where they can do 400 for a couple reps. And take all their measurements ahead of time, and then come back and tell me their biceps and forearms don't grow a little bit. Tell me their lats don't grow. Tell me that their quads, their hamstrings, their glutes, everything do not grow as a result of it. They will. Their traps are going to grow. Their forearms, even their biceps will grow. A noob's biceps will grow from the deadlift. Now, someone who's been training a couple years, your biceps probably aren't going to grow from them, but a noob's will. And it's not even bad form that causes it. The deadlift is one of the most amazing posterior chain exercises and exercises for your entire back development that exists. It even works the lats. And there's even EMG studies out there that show that even though the lats don't really move much during the deadlift, they get recruited heavily, enough to stimulate significant muscle growth. All right, the deadlift is a beast for putting size and strength on you, flat out. Up next is going to be the squat. Squat, one of the best overall lower body development tools. When I say the squat, am I specifying? No, I didn't specify what type of squat. You know why? Because they're all great. Whether it's a high bar squat, an Olympic style squat, a low bar squat like a lot of powerlifters do, a front squat. You know what? You can build fantastic legs off of a front squat. Guess what? You can totally do that. Front squats are great. Back squats are great. Squat. If you're trying to get as big as strong as possible and athletic as possible, squats are fantastic. They're amazing for your quads if you're doing them correctly. But they work your glutes, they work your back, they work your lats, they work your core. It will add a tremendous amount of size, strength, and thickness to your body. Squats are great. Don't skip on them unless you've got a good reason. Again, overall fantastic mass builder. Chin-ups, particularly weighted chin-ups. Going to be the 3rd exercise. Now, everyone's always like, Jason, we've seen you do a lot of rows in the past. You're a big proponent of the Pendlay row. You got rows in programs. Why are you naming the chin-ups? Because for overall development and athleticism, I think the chin-up is fantastic. It plays a certain niche that the row doesn't quite fill. I think the row is an amazing complement to the deadlift. I think rows are an amazing accessory movement for the deadlift. I think pin lay rows in particular are an amazing accessory for your bench press and for your deadlift. I'm a big advocate of them. I'm also a big advocate of them for athletes who need speed, strength, explosiveness. Pin lay rows are great. But if you're talking just adding overall thickness and size and strength to your upper body, I think the chin up might dominate it. And the reason for it, you're already, if you're doing deadlifts, some of the benefits of a row are being lost. Some of the posterior chain, lower back, all that stuff is already being hammered with a deadlift. It's just a supplemental exercise at that point. Chin ups work your lats amazingly well. All right, they work your lats amazingly well. Rhomboids, mid traps, upper traps. They're one of the best bicep exercises ever created. Again, plenty of research and data confirming that chin-ups are just as good, if not better, than many types of curls, and most types of curls. All right, weighted chin-ups are a beast for your biceps. They're a beast for your forearms. They will make your overall entire middle and upper back strong and thick as fuck if you get really strong on them. They also, there's data out there showing that they work the upper chest a bit, not a lot, but a little bit, enough to give you just a little bit of extra growth. They also work the long head of the tricep, just a little bit, enough to get some extra growth. That's often a lagging head for people. Chin-ups for people who are trying to pick just a few exercises to really focus on to get big and strong. Weighted chin-ups are very difficult to beat. I think they even beat, in some cases, the rows, depending upon what you're doing with it. So they're going to be on the list. Up next, either a closed grip bench press or a dip. All right, there's preferences why some people prefer one over the other. Some sports and athletes are going to be tested on the bench press, so your closed grip is going to give you better carryover. And I think the closed grip bench press is a better size and strength builder than the wide grip. That's why I state the closed grip. Because again, you're moving a weight through a longer range of motion. It's easier on the shoulder joints. It puts just as much size on you as the bench press. Done correctly with scapula retracted all the way down, the closed grip is amazing pectoral, front delt, and tricep developer. All right, fantastic at it. But dips might be slightly better because of extra core involvement, stability involvement, but not everyone can perform dips safely. Some people are structurally prone to injury on dips, so not everyone can perform them. So I would say someone needs to do one or the other. Pick one and get really, really good at it and really strong on it. All right, it's not going to fail you. Dips are fantastic. Closed grip bench press is fantastic. They're reasonably interchangeable, although for someone whose goal is just overall athleticism, I might lean in the direction of the dip more. Again, depends on goals, but both of them qualify as one of the top 5 size and strength exercises. Then after that, the 5th exercise, some sort of overhead press. We can argue all day long about which one is better, whether it's a strict standing press, a push press, seated behind the neck press, whatever. Some sort of overhead press that you can perform safely with no pain in your joints and with good form. Pick one and get really strong at it. It will bring your shoulders up, your entire shoulder girdle, your triceps. Again, the head of the tricep that seems to lag a little bit for some people is the long head. Overhead pressing works the long head a little more than most other presses do. But upper chest development, overall shoulder girdle development, deltoid development, trap development, overhead pressing is fantastic. Even trap development. There's, again, good data out there showing a lot of overhead presses hit the traps almost as hard as a shrug. So if you're already doing all that other back work, the overhead pressing will finish off those traps. Now, with those 5 exercises I just named, a lot of people are going to be like, well, you're going to have weaknesses. Really? I want you to name, if you put maximum effort into those 5 exercises, I don't mean come in and half-ass them. I mean you take those 5 exercises or any of those variations that I listed and you spend a bunch of time putting in work on them day after day, month after month. If you get really good at all 5 of those, which muscle is going to be neglected? Name one major visible muscle in the body that is going to be neglected if you really hammer away on those 5 exercises. Now, I can understand if someone really plays around with one of those and they'll develop an imbalance, but every single muscle in the body is going to be effectively worked using that combination of those 5 exercises. Everything is going to get worked. And I'm talking down to even the little show muscles, biceps, triceps, delts, forearms. You're not going to have anything lagging on those unless you have a genetic imbalance. Meaning, if a person isn't genetically imbalanced, meaning they have one or two muscles that really has less muscle fibers with them, bad insertions or something, you're not going to have any real major imbalances on a program that focused on those five. But you know what? It's like I said earlier, at the end of the day, if you do start developing an imbalance, guess what? You can isolate it. If you're doing that, man, and your medial and lateral head of your triceps lag, or your radial brachialis on your forearm is lagging after you've been focusing on those 5 exercises for several months, guess what? You could come in and work on that muscle extra and bring it right up. If your side delt just doesn't seem to grow with that combination of exercises, guess what? You could come in and do a little bit of work for it and make it grow. You could add extra stuff to it. So people need to understand, when I say put your focus on 5 exercises like that, that you're going to get big, you're going to get strong, you're going to have minimal weak points. That doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with going in and adding something else. It's just that if you put your focus on those, you're going to get the most out of it. You're going to get the most mileage out of your work in the gym if you do that. And, you know, if you have extra energy left and something else you want to work on, maybe you've got a muscle that's just really important to you. Maybe it's not lagging, but you really want it to grow faster. Well, train it some more. Problem solved. That's an easy fix. You can totally take the advice I gave and still do that. It'll be okay. But there you have it, guys. The 5 basic exercises that I think will give you the most size and strength for your time in the gym. Alright guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.